Well, getting appointments from the governor, getting several appointments from different presidents of the United States and being unanimously confirmed, that's nothing. That happens to everyone. But this recognition tonight, now this is big stuff. I'm especially honored and humbled when I see those who have received this award before me and the many who are just as deserving who have not received this award. It's just indeed special and humbling for me to be recognized like this by my university. As you saw from the short video, no one from my family had ever gone to college, and I was raised in a poor neighborhood, didn't have a good basic high school education, so college was a challenge for me. But the University of Texas gave me the education and the self-confidence to know that I could compete and I could prosper in any type of setting. I learned a lot in class, but I learned a lot out of class. Some of the things that took place when I was here and some of the experiences I had was I was a ROTC student and was going through ROTC in the middle of the Vietnam War when there was a lot of protesting going on. I recalled the chair of the Board of Regents, Frank Irwin, directing bulldozers to knock down trees full of student protesters who didn't want the trees knocked down, but Frank Irwin wanted that second tier on the University of Texas football stadium. Students boycotting classes in sympathy with the students that were shot at Kent State by the National Guard. Being on the intramural soccer championship team and being the only team with no foreign student and winning the championship. Now that was special. I didn't let her, but I did win the soccer intramural championship. Few institutions could have given me what UT has given me. There's a couple of stories that I tell, and Senator Saffarini wanted me to share one of them with you, and I thought I'd share it with you. Sometime back, I was at a Ivy League school judging moot court, and we were at a banquet the evening before, and I was sitting at a round table with some law professors from this Ivy League school, and one of the professors asked me, Judge Prado, how is it that Ronald Reagan appointed you a federal judge? And I proceeded to tell him that not too many people knew this, but my mother had crossed illegally through Tijuana across to San Diego and had worked her way up to Los Angeles and was lucky enough to get a job as a housekeeper at the Nancy and Ronald Reagan home. Then I sort of put my head down and I said, well, one thing led to another, and, well, my mother got pregnant. And I'm Ronald Reagan's illegitimate son. And I went on and I said, you know, at the time his acting career was coming to an end. He was thinking of running for governor and getting into politics. So Mom packed up and she moved to Texas. And my stepdad raised me, and we never said anything. Throughout the years, Ronald Reagan always sent Mom some money to help raise me and help pay for my education. And then finally, when he became president of the United States, he saw the opportunity to pay Mom and me back for having kept quiet about the whole situation, and he appointed me a federal judge. There was silence at the table. Now, this guy is either a little, or just maybe we have a scoop on our hands. And it wasn't until I cracked a smile that they were relieved that I was pulling their legs. My mother would not be pleased if she knew I was telling this story. Mom couldn't be here tonight. She'll be 90 next month and couldn't make it. The truth is, Mom's not from Mexico. It turns out that my mother's side of the family has been in Texas for almost 300 years. My grandfather, 7 generations removed, was a Spanish soldier who got married at the Alamo in 1728. So we've been part of Texas for a very, very long time. Another story I tell is when I got the appointment to the circuit court, that I was really shocked and surprised that George W. Bush would appoint me to the appellate court because I'm the person responsible for him not getting into UT Law School. You see, George W. Bush and I applied to law school the same year, and the admissions committee had one slot left, and it was between me and George. The admissions committee chose me over him. He never went to law school. He went on and got his master's somewhere else, never became a lawyer. So years later, when I'm up for this appellate court, he doesn't know who I am. I'm not going to tell him that I'm the one who kept him out of law school. He's always, ever since then, had this thing about affirmative action and diversity. Ever since then, I don't understand it. But who knows, if circumstances would have been different, maybe he would have gotten into law school, I wouldn't have gotten into law school, and maybe I would have ended up being president instead of just a judge. The truth of the matter is that I got where I'm at because I got a good education from this institution. It enabled me to get jobs, and it opened up doors for me and gave me opportunities because I had a darn good education from this school. And I'm thankful every day that I went to the University of Texas. I'm proud to be an alumnus of this group and this organization and this university and this institution. I don't know if I'd be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the university. But by the way, I graduated and got my Bachelor of Arts degree in 1969. We won a national championship. In 2005, the law school called me back to be recognized as a distinguished graduate of the law school. We won a national championship. This year, 2009, I'm being called back again. Logic tells me we're going all the way, thanks to me. But perhaps the most important thing that this university gave me was my wife, Maria. We met our first day up here. Registration was at old Gregory Gym. You had to go and stand in line and sign up for your classes and then rush over to the co-op and buy your books. And that's where I first met Maria, at the co-op. Almost 36 years later, she's still putting up with me. Several years back, we went to one of her high school reunions, and she introduced me to one of her old high school teachers and said, "This is my husband." And the teacher said, "Maria, how is it that you ended up marrying a federal judge?" And Maria said, "I didn't marry a federal judge. When I first met him, he was a struggling undergraduate at the University of Texas who wasn't even sure he could get admitted into law school." She said, "I had to work real hard to get him where he is today." There's a lot of truth to that. Thank you, Maria, for being with me and for helping me all these years. And thank you, Texas Exes, for this wonderful recognition.